welcome. In this tutorial video, I will demonstrate how to work with the EDA Profile Manager in KIWI Explorer. EDA profiles are sets of settings which control the design of EDA plots and tables. You can generate EDA plots and tables based upon default profiles or customized profiles that can be created in KIWI Explorer. I will illustrate how to open the Profile Manager and how to use its functionality. In particular, I will demonstrate how to create custom profiles. In separate tutorials, we will describe how to customize specific settings of EDA profiles to create specific designs of plots or tables. I invite you to watch these separate tutorials to learn more about scatter plots, bar charts, histograms, box plots, pairwise plot matrix, and summary statistics tables. I will now switch to the Explore module, which I've opened for an analysis dataset called eda_demo.csv. To open the Profile Manager, you need to click on the Configure menu and select the EDA Profile option. This opens the Profile Manager in a separate web browser tab. The application is divided into 4 sections. In the upper left panel, you can see a list of Eda categories that are implemented in KIWI Explorer. In this version of KIWI, scatter plot, bar chart, histogram, box plot, pairwise plot matrix, and summary statistic tables categories are available. The second panel at the top of the application provides a list of all the available profiles for the category selected in the first panel. If you change the selection in the first panel, the content of the second panel will update. You will see at least one profile in all the plot and table categories. This profile is called Global, and it will correspond to a set of default settings specific to each plot and table type. You will not be able to customize this profile. What you can do is copy this profile to create a custom profile. This is what I'm going to do by clicking on this copy button in the toolbar provided at the top of the second panel. Clicking on the copy button will open this little pop-up window, which invites you to enter the name of the new profile and also provide the name of the source profile that you will copy. Click on the copy button to create the new profile, which is listed at the bottom of your grid. You can also copy profiles that exist in other projects or other stages in the shared workspace. Clicking on Copy From button will open this new pop-up window. At the top you can see a navigation tree which lists your drug folders, the project folders, and stage folders to which you have access. In my case, I only have access to this particular stage, project, and drug, so I don't really see anything different from the list of profile which is listed here. In your case, you will likely see different drug folders, project folders, and stages folders. So you can select an existing profile and enter the name of the new profile at the bottom. And again, click on Copy to import the settings from this original profile into the new profile in this area. Clicking on the Generate button will actually execute the profile selected in the center panel. This is something that was described in a separate tutorial on the plot and table generation. The next button is the refresh button, which, as its name indicates, will refresh the content of the center grid. The last button is this delete button. It will allow you to delete an existing profile if this profile was not executed on any datasets or NumM table. So this is some information that is shown on the right column is the number of time a particular profile was used on current dataset or NumM output file. The next number represents the number of time this particular profile was executed on the historical version of a dataset or NumM table. The third panel in the upper right corner of the application displays a list of buttons which is specific to the selection in the first panel. If you change the selection in the first panel, the list of buttons will slightly change. So here I have the bar chart, histogram, box plot. So each time I change the category, the list is a little bit different. This list does not depend on the selection in the second panel. All the scatter plots will have access to the same list of buttons. Each button is specific to a group of settings relevant to a certain aspect of the design of this particular Eda category. I'm going to click the test profile. You can see a radio button at the top of the panel, which allows you to control whether you want to open this particular group of settings in a view-only mode or in an edit mode. In this case, I will want to view in edit mode. If I click on a button here, it opens a panel in the center panel, which is kind of a dashboard actually. You can open as many panels as you want, and you can rearrange them by moving them on your dashboard. So each panel is typically a single grid or a group of grids with various functionalities. A typical design is a two-column grid with the name of the settings in the left column and the actual value on the right column. Fields can be a drop-down menu or actual text field in which you need to enter either a numerical value or some actual text. For example, the global subset. Global data subset is a text field, so you can type any text that would be relevant to that particular field. Another type of interface or panel is something like this covariables panel, which is a grid with a dynamic set of rows. We will describe how to use these covariables and the usage of those covariables panel in a separate tutorial. Right now I just want to demonstrate how you can add rows in this column, in this grid, and select additional variables. And if you click on delete, this will delete the selected rows. In most of the interface, if you select the last rows, a new row will be replacing the the previous one that you've deleted, and this new row will contain a default content. Stratification is another one of these panel which has a slightly different design. This one has 3 tabs for 3 different aspects of stratification. The conditioning tab is also allowing to define the number of rows and provide information for both, in this case, variable and strip text. Again, we'll go over the usage of this stratification panel in a separate tutorial. So any change that you make in these panels are automatically stored. You don't have to click on any save button to save your change. You just have to close your panel individually, or if you want to click on this clear dashboard button here, this will close all the panels from the configuration dashboards. You will be able to view the content of any setting panel in view mode without any restriction for any profile. So if I click on the view radio button and click on the basic setting panel, this panel opens and I can view its content without any restriction. Same thing if I click on the first profile, click on the view mode and open this basic setting and maybe the line panel, both panels open and I can view their content directly. However, if I open the same panels in edit mode, KIWI will first check whether this profile has been run in the past for at least one dataset or NumM output table. The reason is that KIWI try to ensure as much as possible that all the EDAs that it stores in the database use the latest version of or the latest settings of a profile. So if you make some edits to a profile that has already been run, KIWI will try to rerun automatically this profile on this dataset. So if I click on a setting panel, KIWI will do the check in the background, recognize the fact that this profile has been run in the past for two datasets, which are reported here with some additional information about the location, the ID of this file, and the number of plots created for these datasets. And this window will provide various options. The first one is to say, oh, I made a mistake, I did not really want to edit that profile, I just wanted to view it. Let's exit out of this window. So I can click on the X button, and this brings me back to the profile manager. The second option is to say, no, I really want to edit this profile. I probably made a mistake or I forgot something. Let's go. Let's edit this profile. So for that, you need to click on this button on the left, edit and rerun all plots. If you click on this button, you will have access to the plot panels. You can make any change that you want. As soon as you will click and close the last panel for this profile, KIWI will automatically rerun this profile for these two datasets. The third option is to say, no, I don't really want to rerun the EDAs created in the past for these two profiles. I may just want to create a new version of this profile and run that new profile on my current dataset. That would be the option provided by the middle button, and this will create a new entry in the second panel here, and you'll be able to edit that profile. The cancel button here is exactly similar to the X button. The last option that you can choose to apply is to say, well, maybe those EDAs were not necessarily meaningful. I don't really want to keep them, so I will select those two datasets and click on the delete plot. This will erase the EDAs created for those two datasets from the database. And then you can click on edit this profile. This will not generate the rerun of this profile for these two datasets because your plots would be gone from the database. Before concluding this presentation, I would like to make a few points regarding the scope of custom profiles. When you open KIWI Explorer for a particular data file or NumM output table, then open the EDA Profile Manager to create custom profiles. All those custom profiles will become available for any dataset or NumM output within the same stage. Moving back to the Manage module and the navigation tree on the left, I want to remind you about the hierarchy existing in the navigation tree, with the drug folder being the highest level of hierarchy. Under drug folder you can find project folders, and then under project folders you can find stage folders. Within a stage folder, any dataset or NumM table will have access to the custom profiles generated for any other dataset or NumM profile. So if I open Explore for a different dataset, all the custom profiles would be listed in the Generate menu, and you can see the same list of scatterplot profiles that we had for the original dataset. The same way, if I go back to Manage, select a control stream in the not a control stream but a data table in the Data for Exploration tab, and open Explore. Again, in the Generate menu, I will see the same list of custom profiles. So this concludes our presentation of the EDA Profile Manager. Thank you very much.